Okay, we are up and running here. Let's start the simulation.
Welcome aboard, officer.
We do research on interactive stories. We study how people tell stories and how AI systems can recreate interactive stories, and that's usually realized in some sort of video game or training simulation. The central topic that we're exploring in this project is structured interactive story generation. When you've got an interactive story that could go thousands of different ways, we need to decide what the non-player characters should do, and we often need to look 5, 10, maybe even 20 steps ahead in the story to make sure that we have the structure and content that the story needs to contain. There are several features of the state of this simulation that are actually not decided until partway through when you're playing. This is a narrative device that we call Schrodinger's gun, which is a combination of Schrodinger's cat and Chekhov's gun. The idea here is that some features of the state, if they haven't been observed by the person who's playing, then we're free to set them to whatever is most convenient for the story.
Well, Ms. Condris, can you step out of the car and come talk to me, please?
My team of graduate students and I have been working on this project for about 5 years, and this scenario was developed in conjunction with the University of Kentucky Police Department. They sent to us one of the people that runs their role-playing exercises for de-escalation training, and this is based off of a real experience that she had. She walked us through the way it actually went in real life and also a lot of other alternative ways that it could have gone. And she told us about the best practices that she tries to teach by running that. And those best practices include things like talking to the driver and the passenger, explaining what you're doing, explaining why you want the passenger's driver's license, explaining your obligation to protect the driver if you believe that they might be in some kind of danger.
I understand, sir. I'm just trying to identify you because Ms. Condris has an active restraining order against another person. I want to make sure that she's not in any danger. Can you please tell me your name?
I think the simulation was much better than what I've experienced in the past. The whole thing with artificial intelligence, and we can combine artificial intelligence with virtual reality training to make it even more realistic. You could take it 1,000 different ways. As the participant, you couldn't actually know what's coming. You have to think on your feet.
To be put into a traffic stop situation that could go any different direction. It's the ultimate unknown. You don't know what's going through their minds. You don't know what other threat could come from outside of that traffic stop. And you can only control so many things, but I think that's something that is invaluable to any police officer to understand how it can go haywire on you pretty quickly, but also how you can use your own rhetoric to keep a back and forth going with the target of your traffic stop.
The AI is basically solving a complex game theory problem about how characters can maximize the good outcomes and prevent the bad outcomes. So when you're playing the story, if you do the right things, you get a good ending. And when you do the wrong things, you get a bad ending. So when you break those best practices, we're making sure that you see the consequences of those wrong choices so that you can understand what the best practices are there to prevent or what they're there to encourage.
I'm really excited the things I've listened to about virtual reality. I hope I'm still around when it's really developed, and how you put that into a virtual reality scenario so that you can start practicing and getting used to dealing with folks and interpreting things that you don't see all the time. And it'll make you a better police officer, and it'll give you a better outcome.